First of all, I just filmed this video and then I went to edit it and couldn't hear anything because my microphone's broken, so we're gonna make it again. So here we go again. So the last leg of our tour got canceled, which is obviously pretty shitty, but you know, I can't be too upset about it because we still got to play more or less 50 shows since August, so I'm obviously happy about that. The other reason that I'm not super bummed is I think that we just have to accept that this is the reality of touring with COVID existing in the world. As musicians, you just have to get used to stuff being canceled. Everything's not gonna go your way. It sucks, it is what it is. When the Rumjacks first asked me to join, it was March of 2020, and they had just canceled their Polish shows, and we thought it was gonna be about 2 weeks. I think everyone did. And of course they were like, hey, are you free for the summer? You know, we have festivals, tours. Sure enough, here we are, a year and a half, almost 2 years later. We are now just finishing those shows that got postponed. But since then, we canceled several tours, a ton of festivals, and it is what it is. You know, there's not much that you can do about it other than play the shows that you're able to safely. The whole point being, we just have to get used to stuff being canceled. That's how it is. So Poland. We just finished our run of shows in Poland. I want to talk about Poland a bit because it was absolutely awesome. So I'd never been there before. I didn't really know what to expect, and I honestly didn't know too much about the country. But what I found was the people are fucking awesome. Everyone was so nice to us, bringing us like gingerbread vodka, showing us around their cities, bringing really specialty weird food items that I'd never heard of. Even the food in all the green rooms was absolutely amazing. The promoter Thomas, who did all of our Polish shows, went completely above and beyond. His production crew is absolutely incredible. They really wanted to dine us. They didn't have to do that. In Poznan, I mentioned that it was my grandmother's birthday and that her family had come from Poland. We start playing the song and then all of a sudden we just hear the crowd singing a different song. And sure enough, they were singing Happy Birthday. And it was just one of those really nice, wholesome moments that doesn't happen all the time. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I feel like that was a good representation of the Polish people. We even had people fly out from Spain for the shows, looking at you, Javi. And then the food in Poland was incredible. I mean, I've had pierogi in the States, mostly in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, where everyone's Polish. But the pierogi that we had at some of the venues, they're worth committing crimes over. I would kill a man for these. not afraid to admit it. I even like the smelek. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's basically this lard bacon mixture that you just spread on bread. They call it hunter food. It was awesome. I fucking loved it. And then of course I had to celebrate Hanukkah in Krakow. I'm on a mission, and that's to find the best latkes in Krakow. I never realized how stepped up the latka game is in Poland. We didn't find this place that just, by the books, did the most perfect latkes on the planet, and then Pietro got the goulash latkes, which, are you fucking kidding me? Unbelievable. So the band went home, and then I stayed an extra day to visit Auschwitz, which I'm not gonna talk too much about. But I do think it's important that people visit. So I grew up Jewish, and, you know, I'd read books, watched movies, heard survivor stories, watched documentaries, all about what happened, but the experience of actually going there with a passionate, dedicated tour guide, it makes it feel like it was yesterday that it happened. It brings these stories and people to life in such a vivid way that I can't really describe. Part of what makes the experience so immersive is that you're actually there. I mean, I walked around one of those cabins by myself, knowing everything that I learned earlier in that day, knowing everything I've learned my entire life, and then actually being in that room, walking around by myself. It's dark. I mean, there's no way around it. It's an absolutely heavy feeling that comes over you. But I do think it's important that people visit, you know, to remember what happened. Anyway, before I get too deep into a dark topic that I can go on forever about, I just want to thank everyone for coming out to the shows. It's been awesome. We are really happy that we were able to make all those shows happen before everything got canceled. For the rest of you guys in Germany, we're going to make those shows up to you. We're really sorry that they got canceled. Obviously, it's out of our control. There's not much we can do about that. We don't want to play shows if it's going to put people at risk. It's just not worth it. So subscribe if you haven't. There's a chance I'm going to miss Friday's video, which, I mean, you guys don't really care about, but it's more of an accountability thing for me to do 2 videos a week until I hit 26 videos. That's a magic number, and then I'm going to reassess the channel from there. So I'm going to spend the rest of this week just relaxing, hanging out, not playing shows in Milan. Anyway, catch you in the next one. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.